Good morning. Welcome to Up to the Minute. It is Tuesday, June the 11th. I'm Todd Duplantis, and we're live at the HCC TV studios. I'm with Sade this morning. You know, we got a whole new set we're working with here.
We do. And then we're breaking it in together pretty early. So.
I know we had to work the camera shots out. You know, we're still getting used to that. So bear with us this morning, but we've got a great show lined up. We're talking about graduation. I know you probably are living and breathing. Just when you thought it was going to be over, we had that big storm, and then you had to pivot the operations for graduation, but it's actually coming up.
Yeah, the grad committee, no one on grad committee could have expected this. Yeah. I think our contingency planning around weather has been completely refined, but we were saying, listen, it's delayed, but it's not delayed. Denied. We're still here to celebrate our students, so we're excited.
And it's going to be a big day for our students. That's coming up. And this whole show is about graduation. But first, we want to thank everyone watching us on Facebook Live and YouTube. We're here just about every morning when HCC is in session, live at 10 a.m. in the morning. But Sade, they can always catch us on social media anytime and on our channel.
Yes, anytime. For those that don't know, HCCTV is a channel. It is also a podcast. They can listen to it on audio. So we're live on HCC Houston Community College's district Facebook, not HCC, and on YouTube. We're also on X, formerly known as Twitter, LinkedIn, and on HCC TV at noon, 5 and 1 p.m. Monday through Friday.
That's right. Okay, we've got some special guests joining us now. It's graduation, so we've got to bring in some of our graduates. Victor Mbamara is joining us. He's an HCC graduate and also a student services assistant. And Vonetta Berry, she is an HCC graduate and worked here at HCC TV last semester. Good to see you both. Welcome to the show, Victor and Vonetta.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Big week for you guys. I know you were probably disappointed a couple of weeks ago when we had to postpone things, but graduation's coming up on Thursday. Sade is going to be talking with you in about 12 minutes or so. So both of you stick around. Okay, first we're going to welcome a very special guest, our Vice Chancellor of Student Services and also a former HCC TV host who is working very hard on graduation right now. Dr. Rima Adil is joining us right now. Welcome back to the show. I know we've got a whole new studio set up here probably since you've been in here.
Good morning. This looks lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to be here. I was in person, I believe, prior to COVID.
Right.
And then we were doing virtual. So I am just so excited to be back in person and here doing this show with you this morning.
Well, and congratulations, because you're our interim vice chancellor over student services. Of course, you're getting thrown in the middle of everything. I mean, we were supposed to have graduation a few weeks ago, but then we had this unprecedented storm and you guys had to change up everything.
Yes, that's what it is. We have a very good team here at Houston Community College, and I know it was a disappointment a couple of weeks ago, but the decision was made for the bigger good of the students and also for our community. We had directive from our mayors. So just wanted to make sure that we keep everyone's safety in mind. So we postponed it. Initially, it was really hard to get the date because it's a big ceremony at NRG. So finally, we were able to get the dates. The good news is we now have a chancellor, all our trustees confirmed, our dignitaries. So it will be a very nice graduation coming up.
And, when people look back at those days when this originally was supposed to happen last month, we had some, that storm unprecedented, and a lot of the city was still without power, some people for weeks, and they were still recovering for this. So really, when you look back at it, it was the best decision to move this ahead a couple of weeks.
It would not have been the same if some of our graduates were not able to join due to whatever challenges they were facing.
Right.
And we just wanted to make sure it's a celebration for everyone. And I think it was a best decision at that moment.
So we moved it to this coming Thursday. It's coming up on Thursday. We've got 2 sessions still. We're asking students to arrive early, 2 hours. And students are going, why do I need to arrive 2 hours early? Tell us why that's important.
Hey, it's a very big show, Todd. And for our students, arriving early is always the best thing, but 2 hours pass so quickly
right
in that graduation hall. where we are expecting around over 800 in the afternoon, 800 students as of actually yesterday,
Right.
and over 700 students in the morning session, finding parking to all the security procedure, getting inside the NRG. It's a thing. And then, just lining up what you need to be doing. It is just a lot going on. So the time passed by very quickly.
Right.
But they have our student services team and our graduation team. They have really put a lot of engagement opportunities there. So we'll have our mascot. They can take pictures.
You'll have some live music. I know that.
We have live music. Students usually dancing. So, it is opportunity to get your social media posts there.
I was going to say Instagrammable moments coming up. You can do a lot of them there.
Absolutely.
And I know you'll have, what type of student service support, what type of support services will you have there for students?
So we have a lot of support, but some of the support that is specific to that day is obviously accommodations, services. So we have accommodation services available. We have been sending communication through counseling and ability services to our students. This a good thing is that students have pre-registered for accommodations. So we'll make sure that those are all available. But just knowing that students may have guests with them who may also need accommodation. And so just want to make sure that, they, in advance, they can check NRG site, accommodations available through Arena's staff there. So they can also utilize that. Our bookstore will also be there. And sometimes the students forget this little, hat or
you got to have the cap and gown.
I'm going to say, have your cap and gown, but some students, if they are coming in and, things happen.
Yeah.
If you forget or whatever, you can always check in with the bookstore to see if they can give them a good size and accommodate them on the spot. But that is not recommended. Please try to bring your cap and gown if you are there for graduation. However, if you forget something, bookstore will be there. We just do not want you to be wearing a gown that is touching the floor. So,
Well, we talked with Sade about this last time in anticipation of graduation, but eat before you get there, because the people may think, are there concessions open? I don't think there are concessions available at Energy Arena that time, either in the morning or afternoon session. So make sure you eat before you go. What other essentials tips would you give students going for that? Because you're going to be there for a few hours.
So yes, so it's just also notify the families what to expect there. When you get there, sometimes, it's not common, but we do see that people may forget their credit cards.
Right.
So it's important to have your credit card ready. It's a paid parking. It costs $22 plus tax. They only charge on a credit card.
Okay, so no cash when you're parking. Bring a credit or debit card.
Yes, and I think they have designated blue parking lot for that. That is at the corner of Kirby and Westbridge, I believe. The address is available through the website. The information that is provided also through email. They all received their emails. So it can really take them at the blue parking lot. But those are some of the tips that they should be ready. I know as a mom, I have my daughter graduated. They do not allow any flowers or balloons.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah.
So last time I went to the graduation and took the balloons there, and they were like, nope, you can throw it or you can put it back. Some people were tying it there, but it's always good to just leave it in the car.
It seems like at some graduations, I remember them selling flowers and balloons. Do you know if they'll have that available at this graduation? Because it seems like in past, some of them they have.
So sometimes they do set up flowers.
But that's up to the venue itself, right?
Okay. Yes, but the balloons, I know last time they were making us all
get rid of the balloons. So
get rid of the balloons.
No balloons, folks. Just make sure you could bring and another thing too, I guess students you're going to have your cell phone on you. You're going to be there for a few hours. If you have a portable battery pack charger, that might be good to bring with you as well.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea. I always run out of battery.
Yeah.
Because it's a long ceremony.
Right. And you're going to be looking for charger everywhere. I would bring your own battery pack if you have them. Now, the graduation, after the graduation, you want students to remain in their seats until the full ceremony ends, correct? What can people expect after?
Yes. Towards the end is the nicest thing. They have that moment, the final when the degrees are conferred.
Yeah.
So if the students don't stay, they miss out.
Yep.
Because that's the best moment. Everyone cheers up. I just go to graduation for that.
That one moment. Yeah.
That one moment. So it's good to be there to capture a couple of things about, maybe with the families, let them know what is your meeting point after you're done with graduation. Yep. Because once graduates they're exited outside the arena.
Yeah.
So there won't be any meetup inside the building. So it's always good to kind of set up a point where you all are going to be meeting. One more thing that I just remember, marching orders have given them a ticket. Mm-hmm. That's the ticket to enter. That is a very important thing. They can either bring it electronically in their phones, or they can print it and bring it with them. But that's how they enter the graduation hall.
And that's how your name is called out too. It has to be scanned and it makes it a lot easier.
And also for the picture lineup and everything. Right. So towards the end, that's how they keep.
So make sure you have that ticket either on your phone electronically or, print it out and have it with you as well. Once again, it's this Thursday, 2 ceremonies. The time real quickly for both.
So the morning ceremony is at 9 a.m.
Okay.
Don't let the disguise you. You have to be there.
Be there at 7
in the morning.
Make sure they're early.
Yes. This next one is 2 p.m. But students have to be there by noon.
Okay. So there you go, folks. All the details on graduation, of course, it's on our website as well. You can't miss it. It's going to be this Thursday. Dr. Rima Adil, she is the HCC Interim Vice Chancellor of Student Services. Busy week for you. Thanks for being here.
Well, thank you for having me. So looking forward to see you all at graduation and see the students at graduation.
All right. Thanks, Rima. Take care of yourself.
Thank you.
All right. We are going to take a break on the show. We got a commercial break here for you. When we return, Sade is going to be talking to a couple of our graduates. Up to the Minute's back in 60 seconds.
When I grow up, I want to work in a lab to build robots.
From classroom to career, we're with you every step. Register for real-world education at hccs.edu.
That one day at PE when they were yelling at me, and then you just linked arms with me. I don't think you know how much that helped me. I finally knew that I had somebody.
Welcome back to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis, and Sade, you've got a couple of our students here graduating on Thursday. You're going to be talking with.
I mean, what kind of graduation segment will we have without some graduates? That's right. So excited to be speaking to 2 of our spring graduates of HCC, Victor and Vonetta, who were introduced at the top of the show. We're going to be kicking things off with you, Vonetta. Tell me a little bit about yourself, because one thing we have to accept and navigate around when we're thinking about how we serve students better, or just all the other roles that students wear. How would you describe yourself? What roles and hats are you wearing?
Well, I am a mother of 2. I'm a big sister, the bestest big sister a brother could ever have. I was a body painter for 20 years, a former teacher, a former doula, and now a motion graphics designer.
You know, I was reflecting at, it's almost the midpoint of the year, and I was like, you know what, Sade, you're doing pretty good. But I still feel like I got to catch up to you. That's a lot, and I love it. So I'm sure your journey to HCC had a very defined moment when you felt like you needed to come back to school, because a lot of what you shared required other credentials before. So what was that defining moment to come back to HCC? Or come to HCC. I don't know if you came back.
Well, my trip to HCC was rather circuitous. I started attending HCC in 1994. That's 94, which is why my student ID number is so short. But I transferred to the School of the Art Institute and got my degree in animation. Pivoted into body painting because I couldn't find a job in animation. Had children, life, and then when COVID hit, I needed to pivot again, and that new pivot brought me back to HCC so that I could get into the Veterans Rapid Retraining Assistance Program, which is VRRAP because veterans. And that's when I came into the Digicom program for motion graphics and visual effects.
So just in a lot of your trajectory has been connected to art and artistry, just different forms of expression. So animation, that is something, that is a skill that HCCTV is always actively looking for and upskilling around. What are some projects that you worked on that'll be really memorable for your time here at HCC, because you were an intern at HCCTV? I think we zoomed past that in the intro, but yeah, what's one of the memorable projects that you worked on while here?
I've worked on a lot of memorable projects. I learned so much within my internship because HCCTV is a living organism and so many things seem to happen all at once. And so one of the things I got to do was work on an animation for Swoop, and which is the mascot, in case you don't know. It's been really fun to work on Swoop because I wanted to find out a way that I could make him more usable and more movable for different parts of any part of the social media aspects for HCCTV. And I thought that would be really fun. And I learned a lot about After Effects and animation during that project.
And, people take for granted, like if no one has ever seen the steps that it takes to animate a static image, it's literally 1 click, 2 click, 3 click, and so many considerations to make something look lifelike. So I'm excited. I can't see it on this end. I'm excited to see what you did with Swoop. And I'm sure that what you were learning in the classroom, you were taking and applying during your internship at HCCTV.
That's correct. So a lot of what we learned in classroom was very much about technique. And then what we learned while we were at HCCTV was implementation. And I think that's the most important part about having an internship, is because implementation is very different than what happens when you're in the classroom, where it's controlled and your teacher can say like, oh no, try this or try that. Whereas implementation, anything can go wrong. Everything can go wrong, and you just really have to learn how to problem solve. And I think that's what this particular field is about, is creative and strategic problem solving.
And I think, and you throw in the mix storytelling with problem solving, you describe both of our jobs. So I'm really excited to see where this degree and credential and your time here at HCCTV takes you. You clearly added a lot of value and impact while you're here. We were so happy to have you back at HCC and officially again, once an Eagle, always an Eagle, a member of our Eagle alumni community. Thanks so much for talking to us today, Vonetta.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, we're going to move on to Victor. Good morning, Victor.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing good, and you?
I'm doing great. I think I'm gonna kick it off the same way. What has been your journey? What was your journey to HCC?
Okay. Good morning. My name is Victor. Um, I was born in Nigeria, but I moved here 6 years ago, or seven, something like that. I'm not really sure. Um, I did my high school here, and after my high school, it was a debate between going to HCC or going to a four-year university. Um, as my mom's an African mom. She wanted me to go to a big school because all her friends' kids were going to the big four-year university. But I decided that I don't really see a point in wasting money in a four-year university when you can go to HCC and do a 2-year and get your basic out of the way. And that's how I ended up in HCC.
Well, this. My name is Nigerian, and I get mistaken for Nigerian all the time. I feel like I'm an unofficial member of the community, so I think I can hear your mom in your ear. So I'm glad that the benefits to HCC won. So what outside of affordability, when you start looking at the pathways that were available for HCC, what else helped you make your decision?
First of all, I went into the college, I met with the people that worked there, they were super nice. The classes were not 200 students per class. It was 30 students, you get to speak to the professor yourself. If you have questions, you can always go meet the professor because you don't have 200 students meeting a professor. So that also influenced my decision in choosing HCC. The workers were nice. The process was all quick. You don't have to wait 1 month to choose a class or 2 months to choose a class. Everything was just all quick and also affordable.
Well, I'm sure these are things that you tell other students as you are a student ambassador. You're part of the student ambassador program. How is that change your experience while being at HCC? What have you experienced as being a part of our ambassador program?
Being a student ambassador has really given me a lot of experience. It was actually started by Dr. Rima. I was actually working with her when she was still a dean at the Northwest College before she became a vice chancellor. It's a really good experience, and I advise every student who meet that criteria to also be a student ambassador because you learn valuable lessons from Dr. Rima herself. She would put you under her wings. You speak at events, talk to people, meet the board of trustees and directors in HCC. It's just, you learn a lot of stuff, leadership roles. There's a lot of stuff in being a student ambassador. It's not just the title. You actually get to do what a student ambassador is in HCC.
All right. And what are your next? So you gain these skills around leadership, I'm sure public speaking, and a lot of things that just happen with that peer-to-peer leadership. What's your next step after graduation?
After graduation, I decide to go for the next 2 years, get my bachelor's at University of Houston downtown in business administration. And after that, I was a volunteer at Mbamara for like 3 years, and they told me that after I was done with my bachelor's, I could come back and get a job with them. So I was thinking of getting a human resources job at Mbamara.
All right. Well, you definitely have a plan, as well as Vonetta. She has had a journey and has some future plan, very detailed future plans as well. So I want to thank you, Victor, for talking to us today. We've been talking to Victor Mbamara, who is the HCC Student Service Assistant and Ambassador at Northwest College, and Vonetta Berry, who's a motion graphic artist and founder of ABC Bodyart. They are both HCC graduates that we are incredibly excited to celebrate on Thursday. We'll have info about the commencement ceremony posted after the show. Well, coming up next, coming up after the commercial, we'll have some news and announcements.
When I grow up, I want to work at a school so I can be a teacher.
From classroom to career, we're with you every step. Register for real-world education at hccs.edu.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
All right, welcome back from our break. We're excited to wrap things out like we always do here on Up to the Minute with some news and announcements.
That's right. Big things happening in Missouri City for Juneteenth. They're having some celebrations and ongoing events. One of them, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Friday, June 14th. At the Missouri City campus is the Family Night Out and Movie in the Park concert event. It promises 2 free nights of family fun and great music. And also 7 p.m. Friday and Saturday, June 14th and 15th at Hunters Glen Park in Missouri City. We'll have all the information in our post after the show, Sade.
All right. Well, of course, this whole segment has been dedicated to graduation. But one thing we didn't know was that means that Up to the Minute will not be airing on Thursday because you can tune into the graduation ceremonies live through the live stream. So no Up to the Minute on Thursday, June 13th. Will return on Friday, June 14th. But be sure to tune into the live stream of the commencement ceremonies.
That's right. And we've got registration for summer sessions in the fall going on now. All your registration needs can be found on one website address, hccs.edu/apply. Tomorrow, the new president of the Coleman College is on the show, and we'll have some other guests. Graduation on Thursday. We return on Friday. Good to see you in the studio.
Good to be here.
All right. We'll see all of you tomorrow, 10 a.m. live with Up to the Minute.